Are you aware that people in Lusaka from home they have even built houses? Are you aware of that? Number abantu Lusaka, because of our confusion in China and this they would have built it. How can you put it?
Iliyo big mula fa iliyo kuisa kumaini ukuleta injunction ukufumia kuri ba bayani naliba kenye tabafikire kumaini na it's defend na abakanya.
Sugilite seems not to draw the interest of the government, but more specifically the Ministry of Mines. We realize this has been let loose.
From the time that the story of Sugilite, broke out, have you ever heard a minister in charge of mines speak about Sugilite or give a position, a government position over Sugilite?
For many years, mining has been the major driver of Zambia's economy, contributing about 12% toward the country's gross domestic product through mining royalties. Zambia has for a long time been drained of its resources by the ability of corrupt individuals and investors to commit illicit financial activities and corporate financial crimes. The mining sector has for a long time been a conduit of corruption and illicit financial flows. A new research indicates that a staggering sum of up to 1 billion a year was being lost due to the illegalities in the mining sector. Recently, government just learned how the country has been losing billions of kwachas due to illegal mining of Sugilite. Though Sugilite is seemingly to be a new mineral in Zambia, it is a lucrative business for high-profile individuals and political officials. The aim of this first episode of the documentary is to make an initial trail of what has been happening in the illegal mining of Sugilite, and also shed some more light on the controversy surrounding this mineral commodity. I am Zephania Zulu, an investigative journalist specialized in socio-economic reporting, with a focus on politics, finance, corruption, and human rights abuse. The sudden government silence on the Sugilite scandal, even after the arrest of government officials and some political individuals, is too loud for one to assume that there could be some more government officials still involved and more Sugilite is being lost. The news first broke out in 2022 during the Mine Exploration Investment Project, the project involving Bayani Construction Limited, a foreign investor. According to the Minister of Mines, Paul Kabuswe, in his address to Parliament, the investor had applied for a large-scale exploration license for iron ore and manganese in the Chembe district, northern part of the country. This is a 4-year exploration license commenced in 2020 over an area of 2,000 hectares of land. Certainly, during the exploration exercise of the manganese, it was discovered that the region was also rich in Sugilite. The exploration exercise triggered illegal mining activities by the surrounding communities, which later on exposed Sugilite minerals.
It would have called for a thorough investigation. There must have been an extensive...
An activist who is also a member of parliament from Ghana constituency, Binwe Mpundu, has so far been vocal in trying to pressurize government to take action and protect the minerals.
A total deafening silence from the minister who is in charge of minerals. What does that say of? It speaks of two things. Either somebody is cutting deals, and pretending there's nothing. People are just blasting the Sugilite. It's not even a valuable mineral. Meanwhile, people are digging like the liberation now suggests, because the silence and the revelation speaks to only one thing. People have, deliberately ignored to speak about Sugilite. In the meantime, in the dark, people are cutting corners and getting this Sugilite. That, my brother, is very sad for a country. I thought for many other mineral facets we have, the ministry should have been magnanimous to update the Zambians over the position of gold, okay, over the position of lithium, over the position of Sugilite, over the position of cobalt. By now would have known just how much are we worth as a country.
To this effect, in October 2022, government deployed police officers and other state security wings to protect the minerals. In the process, 3 trucks laden with Sugilite were intercepted in Mansa, Luapula province. After further investigations, Provincial Deputy Permanent Secretary Roy Mwansa and 3 other district commissioners were sacked and arrested in connection with the Sugilite scandal. Furthermore, Mwese Municipal Council Chairperson, who is also a youth leader for the ruling UPND, Stephen Chikota, was equally arrested. Interestingly, Mr. Chikota happens to be the first whistleblower who revealed that some ministers were also involved in this illegal mining. As that was not enough, in July 2023, President Hakainde Hichilema fired the minister in charge of the province, Derek Chirundika, and consequently arrested him for mining in Sugilite without a license. And more political party officials were arrested. A visit here in Luapula province actually confirmed that there is a lot of activities in terms of mining, and this is a bush which covers over 400 hectares of land, and I can see that most of these people, they are coming from nearby villages, and most of them are youth and women. I'm told that they are employed by someone coming from Lusaka, working together with some investors. These are foreign investors, and they can't reveal the name of the person who has employed them, the name of their bosses. All what they know is that there's somebody else coming from Lusaka who has employed them, and this person is working with some foreign investors. And this is a bush covering a huge chunk of land.
And in our job, there are ethics.
Hidden voice recordings reveals that some suspected political cadres and government officials could be involved in this.
So bringing the name or those names, number one, it's unfair. Because it's the entire system. We have kept quiet because us, number one, not quarter party committee. Even us were not there. That is the appointing authority. The president had to do it. He's asked to think outside the box. The minister was telling me, let's just do it smart. He has informed some system that have said, so long do it smart. Is everybody going to be employed? I'll get a graduate, more than 1 million. We have been doing some of these things illegally, just to show that why do we do that? I know where I've come from. I know how we are running up and down. I know how we failed to stem UPND. And if we don't manage our time properly, UPND is here.
And if we cannot raise money for the party,
no, I'm very honest. Mr.
abaire mukubombera kulira muwombe mayi nibanga bashite myotoka nibanga bakula mayanda. One of them ni Kamenga. I'm proud he has built a house. I'm proud that myotoka. But he's one of the boy I thank God Adisa alombano bwerero to alistana di consult and we talk. Mweba nkana ni mwebo bene mweba kalamba mwebo no rupia na pereko lero mware mona kwa rupia na ale mipero runo ine na ale kwa rukuru urupia rwa Sugilite offerwa baya ngaisa kutamye bati nara mpera 15 million, but at the end of 15 million per kg.
The Sugilite matter has ensued a lot of debate among stakeholders, including political players and the civil society. Despite the assurance by the Minister of Mines, Pokawushu, that government was doing everything possible to investigate this matter, that there shall be no sacred cow in this. Transparency International Zambia chapter president, Sampaka Lungu, says despite government making those arrests, there must be a clear government position over the Sugilite issue.
Suspicion is that because the people who are involved are mainly UPND cadres, and it's like a way of letting the cadres have the part of the cake. So you see that there is no strong hand. But also we need to understand that when Sugilite came to be known, there are these concerns that this is something that is done by UPND government, that there's something illegal happening, but at the same time they seem to be paying blind eye to it. But above all, it's the lack of transparency in all this issue, where they are not clearly telling the citizens what is happening in terms of control in managing the minerals, who is there, what action they have taken, even the Sugilite that was confiscated, where it is, where it's going to go. So there is this lack of information about it.
Looking at the existence of Sugilite in Zambia, for years there has been some gemstone crystal minerals associated with Sugilite on the Zambian market, though these are for some time been imported. Some notable sources include China, Brazil, India, Canada, and South Africa.
But definitely we have lost a lot. You can imagine, because the stories have just come to light. The stories we have read in the media is that the 14 tons that the police have impounded of Sugilite in Kabwe is just a bit of the story. It's an iceberg. It's a bit of the iceberg. The report in some suggested audio suggested that others have actually shared more than 30 tons of the Sugilite. So if the 14 tons could, from my calculations, could be worth $1 billion. So now you can imagine how much we have, lost just from the reported and what has not been reported. I don't want to mention names that are involved. And sadly, I want to think that the Ministry of Mines is involved, because their silence is quite suggestive.
Mr. Mpundu estimates that unrefined and unpolished Sugilite was valued at between $15 to $150 per carat on the international market. And it is believed that each of the trucks impounded by the police was loaded with 14 tons of the gem. 1 kilogram was equal to 15,000 carats, which means that $15 of the 1 kg of the mineral was worth $75,000. About 14,000 kgs of Sugilite, whose estimated value could have been about $1 billion, the amount which could have been stolen but lost via the missing minerals. Government has not yet responded to these estimates.
This story was produced by Zephaniah Zulu as part of the Wealth of Nations, a media skills development program run by the Thomson Reuters Foundation. For more information, visit www.wealthofnations.org. The content is the sole responsibility of the author and the publisher.